I love gold.
Representative Luna, she has introduced legislation to carve President Trump's face onto Mount Rushmore.
I don't want Elon Musk having my social security number, but I'll give it to the IRS and my job and the bank and the hospitals and the university and colleges, the mortgage companies, the insurance companies, the credit card companies, the financial advisors, and the car dealership. I'd rather them have it because I know that they're definitely prone to data breaches every single year. The mind of a liberal is so amusing.
A federal judge has just declined to issue an order halting Elon Musk and Doge from accessing federal data and slashing personnel.
Been sipping, nothing satisfies like the taste of the guys that.
We're going to be playing video games, tweeting our high scores.
I mean, I would guess they'll be bankrupt by the end of this sentence. How exactly are you making money?
I'm literally printing our own money. We bought a printing press.
Fearless team united to fight and save your tax dollars. They exposed and canceled the Democrats' prized slush fund at USAID. President Trump and Team Doge joined forces to save every penny.
We've been dancing with the devil way too long.
Had a chance.
I hate those guys.
And champions willing to fight. Support Trump. Support Doge. And let's make America great again.
Bathe in the rain of pretentious folks who.
There's not a snowball's chance in hell that Canada will ever be the 51st state.
What say you, Mr. American Ambassador?
Fuck Canada! Go!
That Justin Trudeau is gay.
Walk around like tees. What's
What is up, everybody? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. If you're catching this on the live, come on in. Come on in. Today is February 17th, 2025. Happy President's Day to everybody in the United States. What is up, everybody? If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. Oh, boy. What is up? What is up? What is up, Rob? My mind. Chanel, Stacy, Simon, Joe, Bobby, what is up? What is up? If you are catching this on the live, come on in, come on in. What a crazy, crazy weekend. I recap most of it on the intro. We had Canada versus the United States in a hockey game, and they started booing. 3 fights broke out in the matter of 9 seconds. Did any of you guys catch that? Did any of you guys catch that? Chanel says, everything is a scam. What is up? What is up? Oh boy. We're going to jump into some things today. We are jumping in to the Social Security information that Doge has been discovering. We're going to talk a little bit about gold. We're going to talk a little bit about the gold at Fort Knox, a little bit of Glenn Beck talking about the gold, the mysterious weather balloon. You guys remember that? The mysterious weather balloon. Riverside County Sheriff, Tesla stuff. Yeah, bird flu, all that other good stuff. And then Elon hooking up with crazy chicks. Oh man. We got an Amber Heard alert. Amber Heard alert. Oh, before we jump into everything, I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the moderators. And then shout out to everybody on the live. Let me change this around here. There we go. I felt like I was at I don't know. Felt like it was a little dark. It was a little dark. Anyways, let's jump into this. U.S. District Judge rejects the effort to block Elon Musk and Doge from accessing systems. Let's jump into this. Let me make sure I got my chat wound up. Corn Pop is a bad dude, says Digital Revolution. All right, let's jump into this here.
Efficiency.
Oh, before we jump in, I got a little tangent. Sorry. I watched Flight. It was a Flight Plan, directed and produced by Mel Gibson. Solid background, good movie. Decent movie. You know, it's not winning any awards or anything like that, but it was a good watch. If any of you guys are recommending, if you guys are interested in any film. Bobby says, saw another plane crash today in Canada. Yep, the Delta plane crash. That was crazy. For some reason or another, it flipped upside down. We can actually jump into that after this.
See, Doge, Elon Musk. A federal judge has just declined to issue an order halting Elon Musk and Doge from accessing federal data and slashing personnel. Attorneys general from 14 states are attempting to stop Musk and Doge from accessing data in 7 federal agencies and from firing or putting on leave employees in those agencies. U.S. District Court Judge Chutkan just refused to issue a ruling from the bench. So at that point, she has not halted Musk and Doge from continuing their actions inside the 7 agencies.
So they're not trying to block them anymore. Anyways, you guys have brought up this plane crash. I want to jump into it because I saved it as some of my bookmarks. But my mind says that plane crash flip was crazy. Yeah, it is absolutely bananas to me how that thing went upside down. Let me share. Boom. Here we go. Boom. Look at this. Look at this here. So this thing was upside down. Here's some folks trying to get out of this.
Everything, drop it. Come on. Don't take your Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
That's crazy.
Holy fuck. Oh my fucking God.
Coincidentally enough, Delta, you know, was still doing the DEI stuff. Not saying that this was a direct result of DEI, but Terry says they're already blaming Trump for that plane crash. Everything is Trump's fault. Every single thing is Trump's fault. Cybertruck purchases, egg prices, blah, blah, blah. This plane crash, Trump's fault. Listen, I don't know how this happened. I have no idea how this happened. If anybody has some information on this, new footage shows passengers walk out the ceiling to escape the Delta crash in Toronto, Canada. 15 people, including a child, were injured. 80 people were on board and evacuated. No casualties. So glad that nobody was hurt, but holy tamales. Rob says, I've never seen a plane flip like that. I have not either. This is insane to me that this plane was upside down. This is crazy. Let me see if I can find some other footage here. If you guys have the links, I didn't have this on my docket, but holy tamale. Is this there? Oh, here it is right here. This one.
Wait, no, it's just one runway. It's runway only.
I'm just glad they weren't in the middle of nowhere. DEI landing gear. That's what Digital Revolution says. DEI landing gear. What is up, just in case? From what I understand, it crashed upside down. That is crazy to me. I don't know. I don't think I'm flying for a little bit, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not flying. I'm not flying for a little bit. Let me turn up this light too. I am definitely not flying for a little bit. Said, is it sabotage? I don't know. I don't know if it's sabotage or not. Delta waitress, what would you like for breakfast? Man, I'd like a... Oh, man. Oh, man. Hard-hitting jokes. All right. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this. I know this came up earlier today. I didn't have all the information on this, but this is insane how this thing was flipped upside down here. Let me just... Yeah, this is... I've never seen a plane land like this. Looks like the wing's gone on this thing too. I'm glad nobody was hurt, like killed. Let me rephrase that. Glad nobody was killed. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. If you guys have any information, more information on this, I'd love to hear it, or send it to me via link. Before we jump into the Social Security stuff, Donald Trump was at NASCAR this weekend. Super cool to see. Super cool to see. 2021, you remember this? You remember Let's Go Brandon?
Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon,
That's
you
right.
told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so much that it was kind of like, okay, let's just stay patient where we're at and hope for the best. And
Star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
What a difference 4 years makes, guys. What a difference 4 years makes. Holy tamale. Just in case said about the airplane crash, I heard it landed, then flipped. I really don't know. Yeah, I'm going to dive into that tonight. Probably after this live, see what's going on. Landing gear. Forgot to lock upon deployment. DEI mechanic took that long lunch break with the gummies. Oh, man. Yeah, they're saying a lot of DEI stuff with Delta, but man, there's just too many plane crashes. I am definitely not flying anywhere. The winner drives Jeff Gordon's old number. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It was just neat to see Donald Trump at the NASCAR. And it was super cool to see him at the Super Bowl as well. All right, let's jump into this Social Security situation here. So there was an article that was released. Elon Musk said that there's people older than 150 years old collecting Social Security. If you remember this press conference here, and then we'll jump into the articles about this.
And there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone that's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, you know, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous. One of the two.
So Elon said that there's quite a few people over 150 years old. This article from Newsweek raises alarm over Social Security, discuss Elon Musk concerns of potential fraud with U.S. Social Security system. Musk, leading the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has highlighted significant discrepancies with Social Security databases, suggesting that there may be a widespread of fraud. The article in this Newsweek points out, let me share it. This article points out, let me close all this stuff here. This article points out that there's a lot of fraud with Social Security. Musk involved what perceived, critics, including Democrat lawmakers and Social Security advocate groups, have expressed concerns about Musk involvement and what they perceive to be an overreach over sensitive personal information data. At the end of the day, Elon Musk has all the data anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I think I trust Elon Musk over the government either way. And my phone is connected to applications, so China probably has my information anyway, so it doesn't necessarily, it's irrelevant to me. But Musk suggests that implementation new measures to track and justify payments, but his efforts have been met with legal challenges, which we showed with that previous video. But it's interesting to me that according to this article here, there are claims that there are 1.5 million people over the age of 150. 150 people over the age of 50. That is crazy to me. And then I looked up, I said, how many people voted for Joe Biden? 8.1 million people. 8.1 million people voted for Joe Biden, right? Then I said, well, how many people over the age of 65 voted for Joe Biden in 2020? And Biden in 2020 received around 81.3 million votes, where Barack Obama in 2028 received about 69.5 million votes. In 2012, Barack Hussein Obama received approximately 65.9 million votes. Biden's votes were significantly higher. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because, if there are 1.5 million people who are presumably have Social Security fraud, I'm thinking some of those folks voted. I'm just thinking some of those folks voted. I don't know. I might be wrong here, but I'm just thinking that some of these folks voted. Some of those dead folks voted. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. But it's crazy to me. The Social Security Administration says that after Musk's quick endeavors with the Social Security information, it looks like that they're losing like $1.5 million a week, or over $1 billion lost every week. According to this article, Elon Musk claims that over $1 billion is lost every single week due to Social Security fraud. That is crazy to me, equating over $52 billion annually. If this weekly loss remains consistent, however, these figures, it's just going to increase the deficit. But this is absolutely crazy to me. Crazy to me that so many folks are potentially committing Social Security fraud. And we're still paying for this, right? Dead people voted 2020, presumably for the YouTube purposes, dead people voted. It's bananas. It's bananas. Rob says, I don't know. Delta said they didn't care what Trump said. They're going to continue with the DEI practices because it makes their company more diverse. Oh, this crap. I can't believe that they say that crap, right? Okay, it makes your company more diverse, but less efficient. It makes it super less efficient. I'm not flying Delta, that's for sure. Or any Delta-associated companies. Not flying Delta. Yep, Terry says deceased voters. Yep. I think so too. Joe Biden had 81 million votes. That's crazy to me. Obama only had 69. And in 2012, he had 65. It's crazy. not to be funny, but I bet my mom voted in the last 2 elections. Oh, she's been deceased since August 2020. I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe check her voting records. They're probably still around. What if Elon shows widespread discrepancies about real gold at Fort Knox? Yep. Yeah, that's the other story also. Another big story of the day. He's looking to audit Fort Knox. He's looking to audit Fort Knox. And I came across this clip. The biggest story, Senator Ron Paul is calling out an audit for Fort Knox to ensure that 4,580 tons of U.S. gold is still there. They've never seen it. Presumably, I think back in 2017, they said that they thought that they saw gold. But from reports and what I'm reading, it's stating that it could be tungsten. It could be tungsten. I would bet there's only a small fraction of the amount of gold they claim that's there. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. This is an older clip here. Check this out. I haven't watched this whole thing yet.
Began to soar. 9 years later, gold sold for $880 per ounce, 25 times what the gold in Fort Knox was sold for. One would think that eventually someone in the government would get wind of what was happening and blow the whistle. The largest fortune in the history of the world stolen. Shades of the old James Bond film, Goldfinger. Well, as a matter of fact, Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond series, was head of the British counterintelligence service, MI5.
Some believe in the intelligence community that he wrote much of his fiction as a warning, as many authors of fiction do.
If the removal of all the good delivery gold from Fort Knox can be viewed as a deliberate raid on the U.S. Treasury, then such an operation might well have been years in the making, namely 40 years. Certainly enough time for Fleming to get wind of it and try to prevent it.
So just how did the story of the Fort Knox gold robbery get out? It all started with an article in a New York periodical in 1974. The article charged that the Rockefeller family was manipulating the Federal Reserve to sell off Fort Knox gold at bargain basement prices to anonymous European speculators. 3 days later, the anonymous source of the story, Louise Auchincloss Boyer, mysteriously fell to her death from the window of her 10th floor apartment in New York.
Mysteriously.
How would Mrs. Boyer have known of the Rockefeller connection to the Fort Knox gold heist? She was the longtime secretary of Nelson Rockefeller. For the next 14 years, this man, Ed Durrell, a wealthy Ohio industrialist, devoted himself to a quest for the truth concerning the Fort Knox gold. He wrote thousands of letters to over 1,000 government and banking officials, trying to find out how much gold was really left and where the rest of it had gone.
Edith Roosevelt, the granddaughter of President Teddy Roosevelt, questioned the actions of the government in a March 1975 edition of the New Hampshire Sunday News.
Allegations of missing gold from our Fort Knox vaults are being widely discussed in European financial circles. But what is puzzling is that the administration is not hastening to demonstrate conclusively that there is no cause for concern over our gold treasure, if indeed it is in a position to do so. Unfortunately, Ed Durrell never did accomplish his primary goal, a full audit of the gold reserves in Fort Knox. It's incredible that the world's greatest treasure has had little accounting or auditing. This gold belonged to the American people, not the Federal Reserve and their foreign owners. One thing is certain, the government could blow all of this speculation away in a few days with a well-publicized audit under the searing lights of media cameras. It has chosen not to do so. One must conclude that they are afraid of the truth such an audit would reveal.
Nothing's there.
What is the government so afraid of? Here's the answer. When President Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, his conservative friends urged him to study the feasibility of returning to a gold standard as the only way to curb government spending. It sounded like a reasonable alternative, so President Reagan appointed a group of men called the Gold Commission to study the situation and report back to Congress. What Reagan's Gold Commission reported back to Congress in 1982 was the following shocking revelation concerning gold. The U.S. Treasury owned no gold at all. All the gold that was left in Fort Knox was now owned by the Federal Reserve, a group of private bankers, as collateral against the national debt. The truth of the matter is that never before has so much money been stolen from the hands of the general public and put into the hands of a small group of private investors.
Pamela says, I bet they won't find a single bar of gold. I can't wait to see what's inside. This is going to be like one of those shows where, you know, because Elon is stating that, hey, we're going to do this live. We're going to, you know, stream it live as we audit Fort Knox and look for the gold. This is going to be like one of those old 1990s shows where they look for the tomb, King Tut's tomb or whatever, and they open up the tomb and nothing's inside. I think that this is exactly what's going to happen here. That Rob says, I bet there's only a small fraction of the gold they claim is there. Yep. Justin says it's been it's empty, and it has been for many years. This is crazy. Yeah. Crystal says exposing the corruption, lies, wastes, and evilness. It's just been this ongoing thing for these past couple weeks of just exposing the pure corruption here. Not a single member of Congress has been allowed to view the gold at Fort Knox since 1970. So it's not there then.
For far too long, the United States government has been less than transparent in releasing information relating to its gold holdings. Not surprisingly, this secrecy has given rise to a number of theories about the gold at Fort Knox and other depositories. Some people speculate that the gold has been involved in gold swaps with foreign governments or bullion banks. Others believe that the gold has secretly been shipped out of Fort Knox and sold. And still others believe that the bars at Fort Knox are actually gold-plated tungsten. Historically, the Treasury and the Mint have dismissed these theories rather than addressing these concerns with substantive rebuttals. No one from Congress has been allowed to view the gold at Fort Knox in nearly 40 years. Recent photographs of gold holdings seem to be hard to come by, and the Mint and the Inspector General's audit statements contain only the bare minimum of information. Because the government has for so long refused to provide substantive information on its gold holdings, it is not surprising that so much confusion abounds, both within and without the government. The difference between custody and ownership, questions about the responsibility for U.S. gold held at the New York Fed, and the issue of which division at Treasury is ultimately responsible for the gold reserves are just some of the questions that have come up during the research for this hearing. In a way, it seems as though someone decided to lock up the gold, put the key in a desk somewhere, and walk off without telling anyone anything. Only during the preparation for this hearing was my office informed that the Mint has in fact conducted assays of statistically representative samples of gold bars, and we were provided with a sample assay report. This type of information should be reported or at least tabulated and published so that the public knows exactly how many bars of gold exist, what their fineness is, and whether they are encumbered in any way through loans or swaps. While various agencies concerned have been very accommodating to my staff in attempting to shed some light on this issue, it should not require the introduction of legislation or a congressional hearing to gain access to this information. This information should be published and available to the American people. This gold belongs to the people, especially since much of it was forcibly taken from them in the 1930s, and the government owes it to the people to provide them with the details of these holdings.
Jacob says, maybe it's hidden. We need to get Nick Cage on the hunt for it. I'd watch that movie. Nicolas Cage on the hunt for the gold. Oh, boy. It is just exposing. Elon Musk prepares for gold reserve audit at Fort Knox. Let me play this here. I just got to get past this. Imagine that. They've been hiding this secret since the 1970s. All this gold is probably gone, just like you guys are saying, right? Rob says it's a BS report. Glenn Beck was saying that huge amounts of gold have been, I think I have that clip here lined up about Glenn Beck and his speculations with this gold. We spent other nations' gold. No one has gold. Let me jump into this real quick.
Talk about going for the gold. Elon Musk and Doge setting their sights on the country's largest gold reserve, Fort Knox in Kentucky, as its own senator reveals that $425 billion of a gold supply doesn't even get a yearly review. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins us now. So, Senator, I didn't know it was that much money there, and I was even more surprised that there's been no review.
Well, you know, I've been trying to go down and see the gold, make sure it's all there for about 10 years. During the first Trump administration, I got permission. You have to get permission all the way up to the Secretary of Treasury. And then the Secretary of Treasury said, well, I want to go down there too. And then he said, I want to go down there when the eclipse is coming through Kentucky too, so I can see the eclipse and the gold at the same time. But they came when I wasn't there. So I tried for 10 years. I set up the appointment, and then because they wanted to see the eclipse, they changed the appointment. I didn't get to go down. But the Secretary of Treasury and the senior senator from Kentucky did go down and attest that they believe they saw the gold down there.
So what do you think the problem is?
They believe they saw the gold. What?
You know, I think some of them may not think it needs to be audited all the time, but I think the more sunlight, the better, more transparency, the better. Yeah. And also it brings attention to the fact that gold still has value, and implicitly, not explicitly, but implicitly, gold still gives value to the dollar. Yeah. That's why we don't get rid of it. You know, we've got it. The IMF has it. The World Bank has it. Most of the central banks around the world have gold, and it's an implicit trust that the dollar still has some backing.
So, Senator, I want to switch gears with you. I want to talk about, since we're talking about money, the GOP budget resolution that is apparently in jeopardy over concern from the moderates as well as Democrats about the budget. Talk about it. I mean, you are your father's son, and so...
Terry says, I almost forgot about Fort Knox even existed because I haven't heard anything about it in over 30 years. Yeah, me either. Up until today, I was like, oh, crap, Fort Knox is still around. It's almost like when Elon talked about that limestone mine where they file paperwork, retirement paperwork for federal employees. Rob says, I haven't heard anything about this since I was a kid either. Yeah, this is, I think the gold in Fort Knox is gone. I think it's gone. Do you guys think that Elon's going to be able to get in there? Or you think they're going to push back? They also believe in leprechauns. Oh, man. Good point, Patrick. Good point. I'd be more surprised if there was than not. If it's not there to give value to the dollar, then what suddenly happens to the perceived value of the dollar? Exactly. Yeah, the perceived value of the dollar, right? They're just promissory notes right now. They used to be backed by gold. Glenn Beck reveals a mysterious buyer in the U.S. is quietly acquiring massive amounts of gold, causing a shortage in London. He suggests the individual has deep pockets and may be preparing for a full-scale gold audit.
Starts with gold, and I've been following the comics. There's something going on with gold, and nobody really knows what it is. Somebody here in the United States is buying a crap load of gold. We think, I hope, it's the Treasury or the central bank, the Fed. But somebody is taking huge physical deliveries, and it's causing shortages in London, where they buy and sell gold. There's shortages now of gold because somebody is buying it and shipping it here. Somebody with very deep pockets. Okay, so why? Now, this is all theory. That's fact. Here's the theory of what's going on. They're preparing for a full-on gold audit. We talked about this yesterday. The government right now claims on its balance sheet as an asset all of this gold, and it's valued at $45 an ounce. In case you haven't heard, it's $2,900 an ounce. So they're talking now about boosting the price of gold, at least market to market, but maybe even making it $5,000 an ounce, okay? If that happens, the balance sheet starts to fall into line and our debt to GDP is not as bad as it really is right now, okay? Just start claiming the truth about gold and our balance sheet starts to come in.
I don't know. You know, it'd be pretty insane if somebody's purchasing gold to restore or replenish the supposed stocks at Fort Knox. Digital hits rock bottom and worthless. Thus, the dig is all coming. Airdrie says there's a Iron Mountain printer here in PA. Never knew about the limestone mine. Yeah, I didn't know about the limestone mine until last week. Elon openly said, "Oh, this is where they process paperwork for federal employees in retirement, and they ride around on tricycles." It's bananas to me. That's why the dollar bill says note. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. That's because it's been empty for years. Exactly. On the dollar is considered a promissory note. A promissory note. It is a note. It is just a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper with hieroglyphics on it or 3D images or whatever it is on there. It's not backed by anything. Yeah, digital is coming. I think so too. I think they are. I think that's why Trump is so adamant about Bitcoin, crypto, and all this other stuff. Rob just sent me this right now. He said, "I think I found the gold at Fort Knox. Look at it." Little Lego blocks spray painted with gold. It's crazy. I don't know. 2 pennies to make 1 penny. Yeah, I don't think it's there, guys. I don't think it's there. I think it's been gone for a long time. I don't know who has it, but I don't think we got it. I don't think we got it. Jeez. I came across this. Remember the mysterious white China balloon that flew over the U.S.? Oh, man. All this stuff is coming out. It's been a crazy weekend.
2 years after a mysterious Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina, we are learning new details about what was apparently inside. The balloon was shot down by the U.S. military over the Atlantic Ocean back on February 4th of 2023 after flying over Alaska, across the U.S., and then over to the East Coast. A report published by Newsweek now states the balloon contained technology from at least 5 American companies. The report states inside the balloon were a satellite communication module, sensors, and other sophisticated surveillance equipment, some of which was held in a foam cooler. The FBI has not responded to any questions about the report. Now, back when the balloon was first spotted, the Chinese government claimed it was a weather balloon that blew off course, but U.S. intelligence agencies found it was actually being used for spying.
No crap. No crap. Rob says, silver's a way better investment than gold, in my opinion. I used to have some gold. I've never had silver. My family has some silver, but never gold. Risking My Biscuit says, big tech companies took all the gold to build cell towers. Oh, man. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, they had the tech in the weather balloon that was spying on people in silver or in styrofoam coolers. Yeah. Patrick Kennedy says, too drunk to do the math. 36 trillion in U.S. debt. 2,900 per ounce of gold. 16 is an ounce in a pound. How many pounds of gold needed to cover the debt? Terry says we are so past knowing April 15th is coming up, and they want us to send them a check for what? Condoms, LGBTQ books, plays, what? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this tax season, to be honest with you guys. Now that I know where all the money's going, right? They just want the money. Maybe they gave it to Intel back in the 90s to make the 386s. Oh. Yep. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm with you, Johnny Sunglasses. I'm about the dirt. I am about the real estate. Those of you that don't know or are new here, I've been doing real estate for quite some time, investing in real estate for a while. I think real estate is the best asset class, particularly on tangible returns, not speculative returns in some scenarios. I bank on appreciation. That's just my play. So I'm with you. He says, get yourself some good old dirt, grow some corn. Risking My Best is U.S. holds the world's most gold at that fort. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there, though. Digital Revolution says, writes, time to overturn the tables, money changing again, international money changes unnecessary. Yep. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat are invested. It looks like I know Digital Revolution is invested in some XRP and some crypto and things like that. How many of you guys hold XRP? I don't particularly hold XRP. I've been reading up about it. But I know it's a good long-term investment. Own land if you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think land is the best asset class. Yep. Get the people who cash these checks because they don't come back. Yeah, exactly. In other news, if anybody's thinking about buying a Tesla, I think it's a great time to hit up people on Facebook Marketplace that are getting rid of Teslas. Liberals specifically. Elon got all the liberals hooked on Teslas. This is an older video of Sheryl Crow, but she posted it like it's a new video. But as you can see here, this isn't This isn't a new video because it looks like spring here. But she says she's getting rid of her Teslas. But I think it's a great opportunity to pick up a Tesla. I might hop on Facebook Marketplace or something like that to see who's selling a Tesla. Maybe some libtard who's selling a Tesla at a cheap price because they don't want it anymore because they hate Elon. Elon's like, the T on the back of Tesla stands for Trump. Rob says, around here where I live, no one wants to sell their land. If they do, it's 5,000 to 10,000 an acre. Yeah, that's actually comparatively pretty good compared to here in Vegas. But you know, maybe check out some probates or something like that. Some probates or some property taxes. I like those. Yeah, I don't often look for cars on Marketplace either, but if somebody's getting rid of something, I might pick it up. I don't know. It's all Trump's fault. Not even 30 days in. Jill Obama Biden isn't to blame at all. Yep. Digital revolution. Land is great, but less liquid. Country land is the best in crisis. Big city real estate might take a huge hit in a state of chaos. I agree with you there. There's a lot of volatility in the big cities. Specifically right now here, at least in my viewpoint. Big cities, Vegas, California, New York, Chicago, all these places. It's tough because it's so dependent on the market. It's so dependent on economics. But this is a little tangent, but something that I was looking at is just 60 miles outside of big cities, single family residences with large lots. Alan says, the only problem, I own 10 acres of land, old farm. I've been fixing it up, may sell it this year, but capital gains take away profit and property taxes eats it up. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure about where you're at, but if it's your personal, quote unquote, personal residence, you can kind of navigate through some of the capital gains situation there, if it's considered your personal residence. I'm going off tangents here. Government watchdog group has disclosed an agency under the Department of Health and Human Services has allocated $22 billion for migrants these years. This is crazy to me because all of our tax dollars that we've been paying have been going to migrants, going to LGBTQ plays, Sesame Street in Iraq, condoms. It's bananas.
Hi, Harris. Well, a new report today from a watchdog group shows that the Department of Health and Human Services has spent $22 billion on migrants over the last few years. We're talking things like cars, homes, even help with credit scores. And guess where this money's coming from? The taxpayers' pockets. Well, Open the Books is the name of this government watchdog group. They dug into this. Their investigation revealed the money was distributed through the Office of Refugee Resettlement, a division within HHS. The office has come under fire in the past. Last year, as everyone may remember, an Inspector General report revealed they could not track the exact whereabouts of 32,000 unaccompanied migrant children. And still, this latest report notes the most funding went to programs for unaccompanied migrant children. Other programs include matching savings for cars and homes, small business loans, and help with credit scores. In 2021, according to this watchdog report, they gave out more than $2 billion in grants. Check 2023 out. That soared to more than $10 billion. This was the same time we saw a record number of migrant encounters at the southern border, and in 2024, another $4 billion. Eligible groups for these migrants include from these grants, that is, include migrants from Cuba and Haiti, humanitarian parolees from Afghanistan and Ukraine, special immigrant visa holders from Afghanistan and Iraq, and unaccompanied minors.
It's a dollar that a family can't decide how they spend that money on their own. And that's what we've got to restore, is shift those dollars away from these wasteful programs and let families and individuals decide how they want to spend their own money.
According to the report from Open the Books, the two nonprofits awarded the most funds were the International Rescue Committee and also the Church World Services. We have reached out to HHS and the ORR to respond to this report and to ask them to justify these billions of dollars from taxpayer money. As of this afternoon, we have not heard back from them.
Of course you didn't hear back from them. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to say anything. $22 million going to illegal migrants, taxpayer money going to house illegal migrants. I'd rather house a family member with that, or the veterans, not illegal migrants to be scooched up in top-notch hotels in New York City or in Chicago. Digital Revolution writes, sanctuary cities got problems. Yeah, I think so too. What is up, Stephanie? Stephanie in the house. What is going on? Rob says, I've been looking to buy 10-acre lot to put a house on, but dang, these prices people want. Yeah, man, ping me on Discord. Honestly, check out like overdue property taxes, because you might catch a deal, especially where you're at. You might catch a deal where an individual has passed away or something like that, where the property taxes are due and the family members don't know about it. Maybe you can pick it up at auction or pre-auction, and you can get probably a smoking deal, or something that might be in a particular flood zone or something like that can be excavated or cleared out or diverted. Just unique pieces of property. Martin says, play close attention to those who oppose the revolution of what they have done with our tax dollars. Yep. Man, this is bananas to me. Sorry, I'm just running through the chat, guys. Every taxpayer should receive free gold bar from Fort Knox with their tax returns this year. I'd do my taxes right away for a gold bar, for sure. Terry says, all I want to have is my electric bill paid in full. Facts. Yep. Justin K says, I want a tiny home in the middle of nowhere when my kids graduate. Yeah. My cousin actually moved out of the city a little bit. He moved 60 miles outside of the city. Got an acre. For Las Vegas, that's quite a bit. But outside the city, small single family residence. He's building a little compound there. He has some chickens. He's going to get some goats. Super excited for him. Brings over chicken eggs. Elon's my favorite African American. Mine too. Speaking of African American, look at this one. Is she African American? Is she black? I don't know if she's black. She showed up drunk again. Miss Kamala.
For those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it. Because, I mean, look what it's this beautiful play, and Everything that we know, he ended up, he was suppressed, he had to suppress so much. But he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to be clear-eyed. And it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something. Right. And that's our optimism.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. With that.
Oh, so inspiring, guys. So inspiring. Thank you so much, Kamala. Thank you so much for those inspiring, drunken words.
Against something.
Yes.
Right. And that's our optimism.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Just in case, my rural farm area, now they're building up houses and dollar stores. Yeah. Dollar General's big out there, right? Dollar General's big out there in the Midwest. My town has about 500 people in it on a good day. Yeah, Prozac advertisement, definitely. This woman is off the rails, man. She wants to run for governor of California. But we have Sheriff Blanco who announced that he's going to run for governor in 2026 to replace Gavin Newsom.
I'm here to announce our campaign to be the next governor of California.
If he can get enough funding behind him, I think he can take it. If he can get enough funding and support behind him, I think Blanco can take it. I think he can. But I don't know if the funding is going to come through for him, just because of his past his experience. Period. Where is this at? Oh man, did you guys see this here? Did you see these protesters out in Washington? Capitol Police arrest a protester for spray painting a Trump supporter in the face. Did you guys see this? Lost audio. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, spray painting is free speech, my ass. You're going to jail, bro. Lucky I don't want to go to jail. You think it's all right to spray paint somebody, bro? Hey,
this guy just came up and spray painted him and his camera and everything.
This guy in the hoodie right here. Stop. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Bring it back down. Step over here with me.
Look at this. They spray painted this dude's face right here. Look at this.
You guys phone? You get on recording? I was pointed away from him, but it's all over my phone, all over my glasses. You have it on you? I have it on my video.
He walked by him and he spray painted him. What a douche. Stephanie says, I'm sorry, but how embarrassing to be VP to governor and she's still messed up. Yeah, she's on something, man. She's on something. I agree with you, Johnny Sunglasses, but I think, man, if Trump was on Mount Rushmore, how freaking cool would that be? I think it's well deserved to have Trump on Mount Rushmore. That would be freaking awesome. That would be awesome. I'd put some money towards that for sure. Rob says, being from South Dakota, 100%, I would love to see Trump on Mount Rushmore. How freaking cool would that be? To have Donald Trump on Mount Rushmore. if it's based, if the trajectory based on, if anything that has happened over the past 3 weeks is advantageous to how the rest of the administration is going to roll out, it's well deserved. It is well deserved. I think that would be freaking awesome to have him on Mount Rushmore. Imagine that. Yeah, they arrested that guy. 100% will go down as great and worth Rushmore. Yep. Yo, did you see he has his mug shot hanging up in the hallway prior to getting into the Oval Office? He has his mug shot. It's just like a basic like F around and find out. It's just a reminder to all the press folks that are walking through that hallway to get into the Oval Office, and his mug shot's right there. That's freaking bad. That's so cool. He's like, hey, listen, you guys did this. Now I'm here. Oh man. So this the Biden administration eliminated a lot of chickens. The Biden plan was just to kill chickens to eliminate the spread of this avian flu, but allegedly this flu comes from ducks and geese, not chickens.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, so again, the Biden plan was to just, kill chickens. And they spent billions of dollars just randomly killing chickens within a perimeter where they found a sick chicken. And so I just went to the grocery store. I shopped for our family in part because I love to look at prices. And there were no eggs at the store yesterday, just a few. And so that happened because they killed all the chickens. And so what we need to do is have better ways with biosecurity and medication and so on to make sure that the perimeter doesn't have to kill the chickens. We have a better, smarter perimeter. And so having a smart perimeter is what we're working on, and we're finalizing the ideas about how to do that with the best scientists in government. And that's the kind of thing that should have happened a year ago. And if it had, then egg prices would be a lot better than they are now. But the avian flu is a real thing. And by the way, it's spread mostly by ducks and geese.
Not chickens.
So think about it. They're killing chickens to stop the spread, but chickens don't really fly. The spread is happening from the geese and the ducks. And so why does it make any sense to have a big perimeter of dead chickens when it's the ducks and the geese that are spreading it?
This is why eggs are so expensive, because the Biden administration was like, kill the chickens because they're coming from the chickens. But it's not coming from the chickens. It's coming from ducks and geese. That's why we're dealing with these egg prices being gone. JD says Trump asks every day, how many days do we have left? His list must be long. Oh, yeah, he's just marking them off. Marking them off like the hit list. Oh, man. Let me see what else we got. Democrat leader, Arizona. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Democrat leader in Arizona Senate admits live on air that they want to use non-citizens to cheat on elections.
Is incorrect. You want non-citizens to be counted in terms of determining the representation for elected officials here at the Capitol, and by extension, I assume the U.S. Capitol as well. Is that incorrect?
Mr. Chair, it is absolutely correct.
Let the record reflect then that you just said it was correct that you want non-citizens to be counted for representation.
That is, Mr. Chair, that is in fact the current interpretation of that clause in the Constitution that talks about counting the people in the United States. That is the job of the U.S. Census.
I do appreciate an honest Democrat, because you're saying the quiet part out loud.
And Mr.
To
Chair,
that point?
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So yeah, Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution gives U.S. Congress the responsibility to conduct the census. The scope is defined as census counts every resident in the United States. Do you believe that undocumented people are residents?
I believe that undocumented people right now are being deported in mass numbers because they aren't legally supposed to be here. And so no, I do not believe that our founders intended for non-citizens who we've had 10 to 20 million over the last 4 years enter illegally into this nation at the hands of the Biden regime, the Democrats.
Here we go. So
I do not believe that they should be counted in terms of determining representation here at the Arizona legislature or in any state legislature for that matter.
How long did it take Arizona to count their votes? It took Arizona like 3 weeks to count their electoral votes, the election votes. Risking My Biscuit says AOC needs to be investigated. I didn't pull it up, but I heard that over the weekend she did a webinar on how to evade ICE or know your rights with ICE. Know your rights with ICE. She definitely does need to be investigated for sure. For sure. AOC is getting more ugly every time I see her. That sucks. That sucks because she is a physically beautiful woman, and she's not doing herself justice by talking all this bull crap. It's just making her uglier and uglier. 100%. Oh man. Doge discovered U.S. aid or USAID was funneling $4 billion to Bill Gates, plus another $880 million to the World Health Organization. Is anybody else surprised about that? No, absolutely not. That's why Bill Gates went on a press tour after USAID was being dismantled. Bill Gates went on a press tour on the spew and talked about all these, you know, the potential things that could happen if USAID is gone.
So Gavi, that's Bill Melinda Gates started Gavi. This is the Vaccine Alliance, Global Vaccine Alliance. And we look into the books here for the USAID payment system. And you can see just from the screenshot here, Gavi, now this is over several years, but $4 billion the USAID was paying to Gavi. And you can go down there a little bit, another $880 million payment. You see the World Health Organization in there, a little over $700 million payment. So there's a lot of money going to really Bill Gates and the World Health Organization. And it's interesting because as soon as Trump suspended the payment system for this 90-day review and Musk moved in, you saw Bill Gates do a media tour, and it sounded like this.
So I'm a little worried, particularly with this USAID stuff. My foundation partners with USAID on nutrition.
He's a crook.
And, getting vaccines out, and there's incredible people. They're not actually worms that work there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some of that work back in shape. In fact, if we don't, you could have literally millions of deaths.
I'm okay with Bill Gates. With Bill Gates and creating his, these nonprofits for vaccine testing, there's been open journalistic reports about him just implementing, or his organization just implementing some of these vaccines to see if they'll make it stick in some of these third world places. And he's just trying to save his butt because he's getting a lot of money from USAID. Joe says, did PETA know about the chickens being killed? PETA hasn't said anything about the chickens being killed. PETA had never said anything about the squirrel. You guys remember the squirrel that got killed? When FBI raided that individual's house that rescued animals and they killed the squirrel, Peanut. You guys remember Peanut? PETA didn't say nothing about Peanut, or PETA didn't say anything about Peanut. I asked them, they didn't say nothing. Yeah, where's PETA been? No, PETA probably got paid off. Yeah, I think so too. PETA's probably part of the whole situation. I haven't even heard of PETA. I haven't heard anything from PETA in like 4 years. No PETA. Make AOC bartend again. She's going to have to. Or start an OnlyFans or something. I don't know. Yeah, don't forget the World Economic Forum. Absolutely, bunch of crooks, presumably for the YouTube purposes. Oh man. AOC said all her friends are smarter than Elon. Poor thing. When you're always the dumbest one in the room, everyone seems smart. Bless her heart. Yep. Poor thing. Oh, yeah. Yep. Fauci means Sheckler maker. Yep. The Shecklers too, man. That whole opioid crisis. And they basically got a slap on the wrist for how much money they've made. If you guys aren't familiar with the Shecklers, look them up. Just do a quick Google search about them. There was a good series about them, a docu-series about them. I think it was on Amazon or Netflix. But it was about the opioid crisis. And if you guys remember correctly, Peanut and Fred, if you guys remember correctly, they were opening up all these pain clinics in Florida just to push opioids. It's crazy. Justice to Peanut. Yep. Man, and Elon, I guess he had his 13th child a couple months ago. Shout out to Elon, man. 13 kids. Good for him. He's all about repopulating the planet. But he got caught up one. He got caught up one with Miss Ashley St. Clair. She said that she didn't want the drama to be publicized. But then this is what she said. She did a Twitter post and said, hey, I don't want this to be publicized, but I'm posting it on X because I don't want it to be publicized. Anyways, she had posted something on February 15th. Elon, we've been trying to communicate with you for the past several days and no response, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Elon's taking care of her. She's in an apartment. She's an influencer. She's in an apartment. She got a Cybertruck. Baby's taken care of. But here's some advice for... This reminds me of Elon when I saw this here. This Ashley Sinclair scenario reminds me of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation, but this also reminds me of it too.
My name's Tyler, and I'm a psychosexual. I'm only attracted to crazy girls. There's something about mental instability that gets me absolutely bricked up. It's not easy, but I weed out all the rational girls on the first date. What would you do if I slightly deviated from an existing plan?
I would say, hey, sometimes you gotta go with the flow.
Disgusting. Lose my number. It's tough being a psycho lover because women naturally conceal their insanity and then soft launch it after a few months once the relationship's more established. Little do they know, that insanity is actually what I want. What would you do if I came home, say, 20 minutes late?
I would call you 12 times.
What else would you do?
I would go through your phone once you got home.
Don't stop.
I would get blackout drunk and get behind the wheel of my white Jeep Wrangler, and if you really loved me, you would make sure I wouldn't crash and die.
Oh, man. Martin says Elon takes care of his kids. Yeah, he does. He takes care of them. He just wants to repopulate. And then that's his commitment. He's like, hey, I just want you to have babies. I just want you to have babies. He has 13 kids and he takes care of them all. Tyson, you said AOC is a physically beautiful woman. You better visit the optometrist. The ophthalmologist, excuse me. She's pretty. She's pretty, but her attitude brings that down. It brings the rating down. Brings it down. Oh man, risking my biscuit. 13 geniuses, 13 future Mars residents. Yeah. Yep. Stephanie says that's a crazy hot scale. Yeah. Oh man. Ashley Ashley Sinclair boobies. Good job, Elon. Oh man, Kathy, I don't think I don't know if I'm blind, but she's just, after she started talking though, definitely lower the ranking for me at least. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. There were some like memes about AOC and RFK. It was just funny. But she's oh crap. Look at this. This just came up as I'm ending this here. Look at this. The two pilots, the DEI pilots, upside down on the Delta Airlines. Funny, not funny. Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie. She says AOC is beautiful, but her attitude and heart are not pretty, so it doesn't suit her face. I agree. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm on that same boat. If she was a bartender and she was just bartending drinks, good. But as soon as she opens her mouth, it's like it's crap. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna keep up with the Delta Airlines situation. I'll keep up with the Delta Airlines situation. And the gold. The gold. Elon doesn't have time for honey-do list. Yeah, you're right. He's trying to get people to Mars. And he's just trying to repopulate. And he doesn't want to deal with crazy. He just wants babies. Probably made a beautiful kid. Ashley Sinclair, Elon Musk, probably pretty decent looking kid. Maybe it's a psychiatrist you need. I've been told that too. But you know what they say, crazy in the head. Oh man. I definitely would not have long-term relations with AOC. Definitely not. Anyways. All right, guys, I am going to jump off. I want to give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat. And I want to give a shout out to everybody catching this on the live. Shout out to everybody catching this on the live. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. And let me know if you think the gold is still at Fort Knox, because I personally don't think so. And Kathy, I'll look for one. Oh, I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys rock. This chat is one of the best chats on YouTube, I think, personally. But drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have an amazing night, guys.